In this video, we're going to look at the taxability of the ERC, the Employee Retention Credit. Many small businesses qualify for this credit. Why today am I talking about the taxable credit? See, the ERC is a payroll credit. We don't file it on our income tax return, we file it on our payroll 941, or our advance credit through the 7200, which accumulates, and then at the time we do our quarterly report, we reconcile all of those 7200s that we file in fax. We reconcile them on our 941. But what I really want to look at, we've covered that in other videos. What I really want to look at today is the accounting side. We talk about taxes and credits. I'm going to talk about when I say accounting, the tax accounting. So I'm not talking about getting the credit and how to get it. I'm talking about, we have got the credit. So what do we do on our books? What do we do for the tax return? So this is not an accounting program. This is a tax program about doing your income tax return. Whether it's a Schedule C, an F, a partnership, an S corporation, a C corp, whatever, but it's talking about all tax returns that a small business might use. Here's what happens. We apply for a credit. Let's say we have one employee and we're in 2021. I'm going to start there because that's the simple part. When that comes, whenever we get that $7,000 credit, that is actually a reduction of payroll. Some people call it other income. I'm going to call it a reduction of your payroll cost because the fact it's a credit that is refundable back to you. Well, in that case, then what that means is that our expenses are going to go down by the amount of the credit. Now, that's pretty straightforward, but here's a big issue. If you're one of those small businesses, and most of our small businesses that qualify for ERC in 2021 qualified in 2020, but they were doing the PPP. So what happens is, on December 27th, we found out under the new law that they changed it from the old CARES Act of you either got PPP or ERC, and then they said, oh, we've played 2020, and guess what? You can get both, as long as you don't double dip, and as long as it's qualified wages. With that, and qualified wages is unusual. There's a different definition. We've done a video on that, but I want to stay focused on the income tax. And here is the issue. Right now, we're going through the 2020 filing season. We got all these deadlines coming up. You know, farmers are due March 1st. We got March 15th, April 15th, all these deadlines. But here's where I want you to listen, and I don't think this is being advertised enough. I don't believe this is being communicated enough. We're going to go back to 2020. You now have said, wow, I'm a small business. I not only get the PPP in 2020, but the wages I didn't use on my debt forgiveness in 2020 for my PPP, I now can go back and get an ERC. Now, first, the qualified wages for the ERC is different than PPP. But we go back there, we file those amended 941s, or we did the fourth quarter catch up on the 941. Either way, we have now a tax issue, an income tax issue, because payroll taxes is the fact that if I get a credit back on the payroll in 2020, then I have to reduce the expenses in 2020, even though I didn't get them till 2021. I will repeat that. If you are in, and I'll say it a different way. If you're in 2021 and you're getting an ERC for whatever reason, and you're doing it amended this year, or you did it on the fourth quarter this year, being 2021, that amount of credit you got is a reduction of expenses on your 2020 return. So if you've already filed that Schedule C, Schedule F, the partnership S corp, when you hear this and you got an ERC that was paid to you in 2021, that you have to go back and amend your return. I think we're like, wow, that's a real impact. And at this point in time, IRS does not give us a clear definition on qualified wages based on, the information there. They've not given us a definition of qualified wages. So there's a lot of us, and in my qualified wage video, I gave you a foundation in what I believe will happen, but it's not authority. So in this case, when you, again, if you did the fourth quarter and did the catch up for 2020 on the ERC, or in 2021 you do amended return, whatever that credit is, you have to go back, and if you've already filed your business return for 2020, you're going to have to amend it. You know, I think this is a real critical, very important, because this credit is so large, and it's so large in relationship to your payroll. We don't want, if I'm the IRS, they just send out an automatic notice. We need to see where you're adjusted. I don't think they will, but they could send that out. So again, trying to help you and I, small business, do it the right way. We need the credit. If we qualify for it, we should get it. But in doing that, we still have to stay compliant for income tax returns. So in summary, if you got an ERC credit in 2021 for ever how you got it, amended return or the catch-up, you need to be sure before you file the return to adjust your payroll and reduce your payroll expenses by the credit. Or if you've already filed that business return, you should go back and amend it and say, here's why. I hope this video helps. Not always the best news, but I'll continue doing videos related to the ERC. Please share and hit the little button there that you like. Stay tuned. See ya in the next video. Thank you. Hope this helps.